Well, hey, welcome back. Today I've got a project in the barn out here. I'm going to have to put in a, well, let me take you back here and show you. I'm going to have to put in a 30 amp, no, I'm sorry, a 50 amp circuit. I've already done the circuit to the box, and now I'm getting ready to put the circuit, the receptacle in the wall here so I can use my welder. I need to be able to weld stuff down here, and that's the reason that I'm doing this. And so if you want to follow along with me, I mean, I'm not an electrician. I'm not going to certify anything is correct. You do this at your own risk, but I'm going to show you how I hook up a 50 amp circuit. Stay tuned. Okay, as you can see, there's my panel box, and right down below it on the same wall next to a 6x6 post is a electrical box that I've installed. I've got the 10-3 wire coming out of it right now, and I'm going to go ahead from this point on and show you how I hook this up. It's not really difficult, but you do have to know something about wiring, or you probably should not attempt this yourself. You ought to get a certified electrician. I, on the other hand, used to be a builder, and I've done a lot of electrical work in the past. So, like I say, I'm not a certified electrician. If you're unsure of this stuff, you'd be better off to get a certified electrician to come do this for you, because electricity is dangerous. All right, the first thing you want to always do is check the power. I've got a meter here. This is a really nice, ideal meter. It's pretty old, but I've used it many, many times when I was remodeling houses and such. So it's really good. The way it works is you push this button here in the middle, and if there's any power on the line whatsoever, it will send out a pulse and a little red light will glare. So let's see if there's anything on here. Now, these are dead, but I'm just going to turn the breaker back on just to show you what I mean. The breaker is now on to this particular circuit, so now let's check it. Whoops, we got power now on the red and the black, which are both hot. So in order to make sure that it's not working, let the breaker back off. Nothing on that line now, so we can safely work on it. So that's important. Well, daggone it, this box is not going to work. Shoot, I got to pull this box off, put another one on. I do have another one though. I got this is a much more substantial box anyhow, but the difference is this one has four points for the screws to go into. This one doesn't. I put this one up before I realized that I needed this one, so I guess I'll change that one out now, and that's not really exciting. I'm just going to pull this wire out, make sure the power's off, pull this wire out, and then put this one in its place. How about that? That's one way to get it off. Well, these have tabs on the back, so you're going to have to open up one of these tabs. And unfortunately, these don't stay in place, they just break, so it is what it is. And there we go. Next thing you want to do is you want to strip some off the wires, about 3/4 of an inch off your neutral. This is your neutral, white wire. This is a hot wire, red. And this is another hot, the black. The ground, well, obviously you know what ground is. So let's move on and strip these wires. The way this hooks up, there's no actual place for a ground on here. So what we do is connect the two hot wires, one to the gold screw on the left, or actually the right from the camera position, and one red wire on the one to the left, the gold one on the left, just like this. And then the white wire is the neutral, and it gets attached right here. Stuff it back in there as far as you can get it, because when you put the rest of these wires in here, they're stiff and there's not a lot of room. So try to stuff it in there as good as you can. Next thing I'm going to try to do is to strip these. Now this stripper probably, well, I know it's not the right stripper for this, so I'm just going to go around it a little bit and just cut into the sheathing on there just to loosen that and get it cut without actually damaging the wires. And then after I do this, I'll actually pull the sheathing off. You want a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and you try your best not to do any damage to the underlying wires themselves. So you don't want to be cutting into them any more than you absolutely have to. Let's see if this will come off here now. There we go. Next thing you want to do is make sure these screws are backed out, and they've got a place underneath of here, I don't know if you can see this or not, where the wire actually gets attached, and then you tighten the screw down. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's see, the way I want this is the neutral on top. So the neutral wire goes in first. You want to make sure that the sheathing is right at the top of this, as close as you can get it, but not interfering with the connection. Because you don't want to push down on sheathing, you want it to actually be touching the metal of the screw. That's what makes contact with the back of the receptacle to make sure you got a good connection. And you want to make sure and get those really good and tight like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do these other two. Alright, here's the outlet once it's all hooked up. You can see that I've got one red going on the left hand side and the black, those are the two hots. The red and the black, and then the other black one is on the right, and it's connected to the gold terminals, both of those, and then that white one is the neutral, and it's connected to the white screw. So pretty basic and easy to understand. And then back in the box, there's the, I don't know if that's going to focus or not, but anyhow, there's the ground wire coming in with a wire nut on it, and now we're ready to go ahead and stick it back in the box. Alright, let me get these screws out of here. Why must they wrap this stuff like it's coming from China? I don't know. Next thing is to put the cover on. Man, isn't that fancy? Way fancier than it needs to be for a barn, that's for sure. But anyhow, couldn't find one made out of some less glamorous material, so we got a chrome cover in the barn. That will impress everybody. Okay, here's the test. And we're going to see if my electrical skill and prowess actually works or not. Let's see if this thing comes on. And there you have it. We have got power to the welder.